On Tuesday, March 22nd, SpaceX Starlink Internet announced a new pricing structure for their internet service as well as the hardware. A rather hefty increase in the pricing, upwards of 20%, not only for new customers, but for existing customers as well. Now, Starlink claims this is due to, quote, excessive levels of inflation. Now, that monthly subscription for internet went from $99 to $110. That's about an increase of 11%. And then they also cite, again, inflation as the sole purpose for these adjustments is to keep pace with rising inflation. Twice in the email, they announced inflation as being the reason given for this. Now, while the Starlink service has gone up, also the hardware is going up for new customers, and that includes customers that have been waiting for more than a year for their product to arrive. If you already had a deposit down, that $99 deposit, the cost for the hardware will go from $499 to $549 US. That's a 10% increase. And for new orders as of March 22nd, it's going from $499 to $599, a 20% increase in the pricing. Now, if the pricing is a bit abrupt, Starlink did mention they are offering 2 ways to get a refund. If you have placed an order within the last 30 days, you can return the product for a full refund. And if you've had service for basically at all, you can return your hardware to get $200 back. So there are 2 ways to get a refund if the pricing is a bit high. Now, SpaceX Starlink does mention in their release that going forward, users can expect Starlink to maintain its cadence of continuous network improvements as well as new features and additions. One of the biggest additions recently added was roaming, which I did a video on. If you're interested in that sort of thing, I can see this getting a lot better in the months and years ahead, something that is really exciting. But going back to that network improvement, it is my opinion, and I did release that in my other video I recently did on Starlink, my 1-year review, that the service has gotten significantly worse in the last couple of months. It reached its peak in about September, and since then the latency for gaming and for video calls has definitely gone up, and the download and upload speeds have also gone considerably down, almost in half from where they were comfortably about back in September. So for me personally, the cost of Starlink, I'm not so sure is worth it anymore. It is something I will have to consider given the fact I do have another internet service at home. That's a rather large increase in price for something that I have kind of been using as a secondary service, as well as a service I've been using now, roaming, taking it with me. I think I may get a little adventurous with my Dishy to kind of see exactly what I can do with it. May need to kind of hack the body a little bit to kind of have some fun with that. Make sure to subscribe and like this video for another video in the future. We may have some fun with that Starlink dish. What I do find interesting is that they did not grandfather any of the pricing. For the early adopters, for those that had deposits down, the prices are going up regardless. And I do think that is a little interesting given previous Elon Musk ventures like Tesla grandfathering in the unlimited charging for the early adopters of Tesla at superchargers. There's kind of some precedent with his products that there might be some grandfathering going in. Unfortunately, that doesn't appear to be the case with SpaceX Starlink. So going forward, what features are looking exciting? Well, better speeds and better latency. That's something that I'm really hoping will improve in the months ahead. And I may not cancel just to see where things progress here in the next few months. I'm hoping things get a lot better. Obviously, the roaming is a feature that I think a lot of people can start taking more advantage of. And one thing I do want to keep in mind is that with SpaceX Starlink, there are no data caps. As of now, at least according to Starlink, and that is something that is very beneficial as well, especially if you are in remote areas where you have maybe existing satellite providers or possibly LTE internet service. They tend to come with some pretty lofty data caps and data overage charges as well. So not having that is really keen for Starlink. So overall, I think this will limit the amount of people that do want to jump on Starlink. That's a pretty big jump, 20% for the hardware for new customers going forward. And I think Starlink is doing its job. We are seeing more providers add more coverage in very remote areas that have been underserved in the past. And unfortunately, if you are in an underserved area still, Starlink really does remain your best option. And again, I do think it is a great service for the most part. It definitely needs some improvement though. I'm hopeful things get better going forward. we'll just have to see where the months lie ahead. And thanks for watching this video, everybody. Feel free to subscribe for more videos on Starlink in the future. Also, storm chasing. We're entering spring. Exciting times lie ahead. We'll have a lot of storm chasing coverage with Starlink as well, as we use it as my internet provider trying to chase tornadoes in the future. Subscribe for that content, and we'll see you again at the next video.